Alright, welcome to Stormworks Build and Rescue. Back with another live build. We're not working on the ocean liner today because I remembered that I have another ship that I need to do sooner than that, and thought, well, why not just stream that. So this ship is a jack-up ship, and if you don't know what that is, it is, let me just get a page up now, one of these. So basically these are big barges, big ships with legs on the bottom of them, and the legs go all the way down to the bottom of the seabed and lift the ship out of the water. So instead of it having to anchor, or instead of it having to build like a platform or something, they can bring in these big barges and just sit there, and then they can take the legs back up again when they need to go, and off they go without anyone knowing that they were there. So these are being built for a wind turbine project I'm doing. So like this one here, they will be installing big wind turbines, and they'll be out in the middle of the ocean doing that kind of thing. So I have already started one of these, but Stormworks being Stormworks, it completely broke, and also it's too big, so yeah, it's gonna be a minute to load in here. It's a fairly large ship. It's got these big massive legs on it which will drop into the sea. I've redone the legs, I've redone everything, so now we're doing this bit of it. So might as well just get to work, I suppose. Now I do have a document of kind of like a plan of what I'm going to do. So the ship is to be about 60 meters long and about 20 to 25 meters wide. So it's a big enough boat for Stormworks, and yeah, 5 meters draft, 18 to 15 knots, or no, 18 knots maximum speed, 15 knots cruising speed, but we'll worry about that later. And from keel to, let's see, from the keel to the top should be about 60 meters, so that is the size of the big legs. I'll actually just show you the legs here, because I've kind of got them sorted out already. So basically these big legs here, every 5 meters they're marked, and I think this one is 60 meters. And then at the very top you've got a little kind of platform, just if you want to go up and admire the view, which will be fairly high up if you think about it. So yeah, now we just need to make a ship and put 3 more of them in. So the way I usually start is by marking out the size of the ship. So this ship is to be 60 meters, well 55 to 60 meters, and will have a width of 20 to 30, yeah, 20 to 30. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark out 30 meters this way, actually 30, yeah, we'll do 30 that way, 30.25, and then 5 meters up, although I might only do 4, yeah, we'll do 4. That was to be the draft of the ship, but I'm thinking 5 meters might be a bit too much. And then we'll do another 4 above the waterline then. And then we'll have 30 meters this way as well. Hunter Faulkner, hello. And we'll get the... Did I do 3 over there? 4. I meant to do 3, but I think I did 4 over there. Yeah, it's 4. So I'll measure up 3, mark it there. Right, and then we'll get our symmetry on. And then we'll go out 12 meters either side. So that'll be 24.25 meters wide, which is sort of within the middle of the range that I'd set it to be. So it was either to be 20 to 30 meters wide was the plan, so 24.25 is grand. Now, what kind of shape do we want the bow? If we look at some of the, let's go back to the window, a lot of them are very just basic shapes to them. They're not kind of pointy like a normal ship. They're sort of just flat and just a wee lip up, just to kind of give them a bit of hydrodynamics, I assume. So we're going to be doing exactly the same as that, but just on possibly a slightly different design. So let's just find one here that we like. There is one that I remember I did quite like, but I've forgotten the name of it. We could do a pointy boy like this one, where it's kind of sort of pointed. This is MPI resolution. She is 130 meters long and I think 30 meters wide. The difference is she has 6 legs. Our boat will only have 4. Music is straight up banger. It's I'll find the playlist. It's NCS Top 100, so I don't get copyright striked. So if you wanna sing along at home or something, go for it. Looks like it will be really big. I'm at school, so I cannot take very much time. Rewatch the stream there. Yep, no problem, Echolas. It will be 60 meters long. So the same as in the spreadsheet that you see in the Discord. Discord is linked in the bio as well, so or description if anyone wants to join it. The spreadsheet in the Discord, it's the same as that roughly, although I have made some changes because I think 5 meters is too deep for it. So that's MPI resolution. I wonder how much her keel draws. Let's just see. Oh, her draft's only 3 meters and she's huge. Okay, so 3 meters will definitely be more than enough. And it's a flat bottom ship as well, so it'll be very, well, in real life they're very good displacement, whereas in Stormworks it's based off something else, but yeah, we'll not worry about Stormworks' unrealisticness tonight. Is that a word? I'm not actually sure it is. So, what do we think? Anyone watching? Should we do pointy bow or sort of just a flat front? I feel like most of the ones about this size have the flat bow, so maybe that's the way to go, but I don't know. Up to you guys. It'll probably end up being something like that where it kind of curves around anyway, but just not to the same extent where it would usually do it. Try and get some inspiration. Maybe something like that. Or it just kind of rolls in. So many different designs that you can go for. Do a nice bow. Okay. I reckon that's probably going to be most people's opinion. Just to do a kind of lightly curved bow. I just thought we could even do like sort of semi, like flat across part of it. Maybe 5 meters aside or 3 meters aside, maybe. Or would it be better to just do it all? So, well, we'll do the shape first then, and then we can do the rest of it. So, we'll just line up the edges, so we know how wide it needs to be. Unless you're trying to get a kind of platform feel for it. Well, sort of. Not really. It needs to be a ship, but also platform. Is kind of how these differ from most ships, but I think if we do a kind of relatively no, like it's not like an actual proper bow where it's sort of really steep and like a V bow, just cut through the waves. Still kind of bargy, but not as bargy as it would have been maybe. So we use these then. Right, I think we've come out further than we can. Yeah, we have. Prime King, hello. So we'll do one row of these, and this will be kind of like a deflector on the bow. So obviously it's not going to work in Stoneworks, but in real life it would kind of break up the wave, or not break up the waves, but deflect the waves away from the bridge so that they're not getting everything soaked and covered in salt. But yeah, Stormworks, it's purely decorative. And then we'll just kind of make it steeper then, as it works its way down. Maybe we'll have a bulbous bow as well then. So originally what I thought was to have 2 pods up at the front, but maybe we could just have the 2 pods at the back and then 2 tunnel thrusters at the front. Although the pods would give us more control. We can kind of point them wherever we want, really. Okay, no, we'll stick with pods then. Counter stream where I build microcontrollers. It's going to be boring as hell, and it's going to have a lot of me cursing at my designs and refusing the word for no one reason. Yeah, I've tried designing microcontrollers. It usually gets very stressful, which is why I don't really do it that much. Well, at least not to the level you do it. My proudest creation was an elevator microcontroller, and it ended up breaking. I changed something in it to make it better, and it ended up completely backfiring and destroying the whole thing basically. So yeah, I kind of give up on advanced microcontrollers from that day. Right, what have I done here? We need to get something like that. Yeah. This is like a non-copyright rave in here. Ah. Done that wrong, haven't I? Right. Oh my god, I'm an absolute idiot. I had the Chrome window up still. I have done that so many times, it's ridiculous. Oh no. It's a really good feature that you're able to kind of switch between windows. So you can kind of show off what you're building or like get some inspiration. But that, I have done that so many times, it's not even funny. I cannot believe that. We're gonna be like a minute before that gets to the stream. Don't be afraid to tell me I've done that if I do that again, because I do that I'd say that's probably not the last time I'll do that in the stream. Some streams I've had like a good half an hour of the stream have been on just like a blank window that I was looking at like 10 minutes before. I was very, very frustrated about that. I deleted that because I had a plan and now I've forgotten the plan. You know what? I'll just make it up. Just go with the flow. That was not the flow, but okay. So let's pick one of them. Lovely, probably. Yeah, don't want to speak too soon. Quality content, that must be the, the stream being on the wrong thing. Only getting through now. Yeah, sorry about that. What? Ah, right. No, that's not right. We need small ones. Spotify Shuffle is not great, I'll admit. I reckon if you went back and watched like most of my streams on Twitch and stuff, it's like the same sort of 100 songs that just kind of keep getting repeated on them. We should make a custom playlist. So how do we curve it downwards at the bottom then? Is that like for the side? Is that too sort of weird looking, or what do we think? Kind of bring it back as far as it'll go. Smooth holes with wedges. Yeah, the wedges, as good as they are, occasionally make it more difficult, I think. Well, not more difficult, they don't make it more difficult, but you're more likely to use the wedges than you are to kind of put time into making like a proper shape, and then you end up kind of with not what you were wanting. But apart from that, they're very good. I like them. Other thing with the wedges is as well that they sometimes, when used in certain ways, can slow boats down just because they're sort of there's a lot more entities to them. Hopefully the physics block that's been added will maybe smooth it out. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but hopefully we'll kind of get a bit of effect from that. Right, so we want this as flat as possible down the side. This song is Mortals by Warrior. Yeah, it's all NCS stuff. So NCS top and under. Actually, what I'll do, if it's not already, it actually might be. The playlist might be linked in the, let's see, copy playlist link. I'll link it in the description of the stream. Yeah, they do have quite a good library. Okay. Okay, there it should be in the description now. Right. You know what, that's not a bad buy. I'm happy enough for that. I could happily take a buy. God, that was the worst joke ever. Right, so just smooth out the bottom here, and we will be good to kind of move on to the sides, and then this transom, or stern, whatever. Is transom the right word actually? Transom's like the back of the boat, but I don't know if it includes the whole back of the boat, or if it's just like very back, I'm not sure. Right, that's not bad. Okay, same thing here, and then we'll just bring it all the way along to here. Not entirely sure how happy I am about all them big panels there, but we'll have to put up with it. What we need is some of like that. Oh yes, that's good. Right, now we can close up the gap here. I think I'm going to leave the bulbous bow, because we'll just do the bipods then. So we'll have 2 at the back and 2 at the front, all sort of independent. We want this boat to be able to drift. I know I laugh at that, but I actually do want this boat to drift. I think that would be pretty cool. You can see some boats able to just spin around in their own circle. We want the next level from that. So now we make the, well, it's not really a bulbous bow, but it's a kind of bit that sticks out at the front for this bit. And actually we could probably move them 2 parts forward by 1. Let's just reset that there, and we're, oh my god. So we'll just pick all this stuff here. The selection tool, and is that good? Yep. And then we'll move all this forward by 1 or 2. Oh, it's wrong. That one. Right. Move this forward by 1, and in that way it lines everything up nicely. Just link them up there so that we don't have any issues with that. And then we'll get rid of all this stuff here because we don't want extra blocks. It's not going to make a massive difference, but any bit of weight that we can save, we'll at least give it a go. wonder should we do it like a... Yeah, maybe that'd be a good idea. Instead of doing it kind of just plain and boring and just flat, we could do it so it's an actual like big, so it looks like it's kind of coming out at the front rather than just sitting flush with it. So someone looking at it from a distance would know, right, that's where the pod is. You know what? I might actually move it over an extra space as well, so we have a gap in the middle where we can put other stuff. Or actually no, we could keep it like this and then move it over by one and then have it so that the pod is centered on that, because I'm not sure entirely how big the pods will be. I'll probably just copy the pods off the last boat I did because they were a nice enough shape and size and stuff, so they'll probably do alright. So yeah, we'll save this then, and then we'll go and have a look at that boat and grab one of the pods. Here we go with the lag. Oh, at least it's not big enough that it's crashing the game every time it's loading in, like some of my boats. But yeah. So yeah, I learned a lot from this boat that we're not going to do with the next one. Oh yeah, they're big actually. So we'll make the pod things even bigger. That's quite a big chunk there actually. It's the same actual, that's actually the same layout as... What do you think? Would it be cheating to just copy that and put it in the other one? Because they're nice enough, like they're not going to inhibit this boat. Although these are actually, this boat's a lot bigger, I've just remembered. Height wise, this boat has a draft of close to 4 meters. Let's see. Yeah. 6 meters up to the freeboard. And then even higher at the bow, which is double the boat we're working on. Oh no, not double. That is the same actually. Yeah. Anyway, right, we'll just copy the pods then. We'll redo the other bits, which are where? There we go. Slightly annoyed I had to give up on this boat, but I don't know. I did something with the jack-up legs, and it just completely wrecked it. So yeah, we'll have to kind of ditch that. This boat won't even spawn in now, so pretty much a no-go. Right, let's copy that, and that way we have the pod. Then we can paste that in there, and then we have one, so we know what size we need. Yeah, I'm gonna put that a bit bigger then. Yes, Prime King, eventually. Once we finish this project, wasn't really expecting that optimization block to come out, so we kind of started this project instead. But once we're done this project, I think we will try and finish off the cruise ship. Maybe not to what we kind of planned for it to be, but at least to have it finished and on the workshop so we can kind of show it off. Because it's a nice ship. It's, apart from it being horrendously difficult to run and huge, it's a nice ship. So it'd be nice for people to have a go with it, I think. What way am I doing this? Okay, I need 5 in the middle then. But yeah, definitely continue with that boat eventually. And then actually someone suggested the other day doing another cruise ship, I think, or an ocean liner. So we could even be doing more passenger ships. But we'll wait and see what the poles bring, I suppose. So we'll continue that down a bit further like we did with the other boat. Just to give a bit more shape to the bow.
It's all about humanity.
Yeah, this is the good thing about kind of doing a boat again, having to restart something, is even if you're kind of having to start from scratch, it gives you a chance to fix everything that you didn't like about the first try. So it does have its pros.
It's all about humanity.
Try just... Oh. So one of them. Very mixed genres in this playlist, isn't it? Well, actually, I'm just going to do a sound check because this is a fairly loud song. So I don't want it to be the song's kind of deafening everyone. Okay, we'll turn it down a wee bit, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't as bad as it's been before. Some of my other streams I've done, you literally can't hear a word I'm saying. It isn't necessarily a bad thing, I suppose, but most of the time I am just talking complete rubbish. If you hadn't noticed. Okay, so let's copy that and bring it up to the front and see how well it fits. Ah, that's a different way around actually. Not to worry. Want it as far forward as possible, I think. Not entirely sure what effect that'll have on performance or on handling, but I just want it to look further forward, so that's where it's going. Sure, but it probably does benefit it in some way having it further forward, because it's able to pull it easier maybe. Although these ones are going to be orientated that they push the boat. Most of the stuff I do with pods has the propellers pulling the boat through the water rather than pushing it through the water, but this one's the other way around. Nice. Right. I'm happy enough with that. Looks alright. Let's just see. It's not majorly important at this point, but just our deck level will be here. So I like to have at least 3 blocks of oh dear, didn't mean to do that. At least 3 blocks of kind of whatever you would call this as like a kind of protection measure. So that if you're standing in the front, you can't fall in by accident. Because, yeah, Stormworks would easily have you lost from your ship forever if you fell in. So yeah, we want to avoid that at all costs. So, we'll have 3 decks there. Each deck is going to be 2 meters. So, might as well do a measurement test here. So, 2 meters down. So there. Oh, perfect actually. Landing up at the bottom. I would like a bilge, but we can find other ways to do that. The majority of this deck actually will be fuel tanks, so yeah, that will be a bilge. Right, so we've got a deck underneath the main deck level, and is that too low for the main deck actually? Although, if we can go over to the other window without me forgetting that it's on and getting us stuck there, a lot of the barges are just level the whole way through, so the bow isn't overly high compared to the rest of the boat. So hopefully we can kind of make the benefit of that design, and let's see if I can describe it on. See, that one has 2 decks worth of stuff over it, but it's a lot bigger of a ship, so maybe that kind of makes sense. That one seems to have 1 deck. Okay, anyway, we'll continue on for now, and if we need to change it, we can. We can maybe add to the front to the back, or not? Yeah, the front even. Don't know why I would add to the back. So fill that in, and then fill the wall at the side in, and then we can kind of get an idea. Oh, I hate when this happens. Then we can get an idea of how much we need. So these here I'd like to kind of change a bit. Okay, we'll have 2 of them going along the side to give the bit of a bevel to the hull, and that'll do us just fine. How does that look? Yeah, it's alright. So, what is our draft then? Our draft is 3 meters. Ah, yeah, we've got plenty of room there. So let's just drag out a main deck level. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But you know it's going to be there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Is that enough? 1.25 meters between the main deck and the sea. Given that the boat's probably going to be out of the water the majority of the time, I'm not too worried about that. Because, oh my god, I've done it again. Right, it's alright this time because I'm going back to this page anyway. As we saw with this one, this ship only draws 3 meters. So that's only 3 meters, so it's only maybe 2 meters then above the water. So it's not too big of a deal if it's sort of, let's see, yeah, it's not too big of a deal if it's not too far from the water to the deck level. As long as it doesn't sink, that's the main thing. Although now I've said that, will probably jinx it in some way that it'll sink. So let's start the stern. So we'll start with making a transom. Can't believe I did that again with the chrome window. So we'll sort of shape this down in a way, so that as it comes out, it kind of goes up towards the corners. Let's get a nice shape going in the corners. So we'll do 2 from the other side, and 4 just so we know they're all even. Okay, that's not even at all, so I don't know how I did that. Let's get rid of all them. Right, nice rounded stern then. Might be easier to work this out if we do it from base level. Yeah. So if we line that up with there, then I can actually no, we need to go back 4 more. And then
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it.
sorry if I forget to kind of talk. Sometimes you kind of forget that you're streaming and then start building. Yeah, okay. So that kind of shape there will follow through with the rest of the back of the hull, so then the pods will be kind of protected from the seabed. So if the ship runs aground, pods are actually no, they're not, because they're at the front, they're exposed. You know what then? Scrap that idea. What we'll do is use these and the smaller ones of these to build up the back a bit, and now that we've kind of got a level worked out, we can then work back towards that. Nice. Just got the stream in the background while you're building your catamaran. God, I can't even read. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just watch someone else build while you build. In fairness, that's how I do most of my building. Must be a good technique if everyone's doing it. Okay, that's good enough. That's deck level, isn't it? So then the next deck down is here. Do we have it so that tough decision. Do we have it so that it's level with the back, or do we have it so that it just looks better? Because I like the way that kind of turned out. Okay, we'll stick with that for now. A fantastic builder, thank you. That's very, very encouraging. Practice makes perfect, as the saying goes, although nowhere near perfect when you see some of the other guys on there. Yeah, okay, that's good. That'll do. And then we'll do the pods. Do we do the pods in line, or do we do the pods kind of... Should these both be facing the right, the same way? So that one's rotating. So D is positive. I need to do this from the other side. So D is positive. So when you're pressing positive, that's going... Yeah, okay, that's the right way around then. So it's the ones at the back then will need to be made opposite. So we need to remember to do that. Get rid of all that crap and... Now, do we bring them all the way to the back, like this kind of hump underneath, as like a keel, or do we just curve it up into the hull? I wonder. Because that could be full of weight then, and then that kind of keeps us balanced, because this is going to be very buoyant actually. If it's got anywhere near the amount of buoyancy that I'm kind of imagining it will. So it's going to need something to keep it grounded. Not that it's going to take off, but also when it's in the water, or when it's lifted out of the water, it's going to need something to keep it from flipping over in the wind. Because 70 knots of wind, a big flat surface like this will be a big sail basically. No, 80 knots of wind actually, isn't it? I think 100% wind is 80 knots, which is fairly close to hurricane level. If anyone knows the Beaufort scale. Okay. We'll do one layer of these. And then we'll curve them back so that they kind of match up with the aft pods as well then. Let's get rid of this because we've now got it copied anyway, so not needed anymore. So we'll go for a similar design at the back here, but much more subtle and nicer. Although the front's nice, I like the front. Actually kind of glad I restarted this because I'm much happier with that bow than I am with the other one that I done ages ago. The other one's kind of just very basic. Am I going to put this on the workshop? Yep, this basically will be part of a fleet of at least 2 ships, and it'll be, if you've ever seen wind turbines offshore, so kind of wind turbines in the sea, it's going to be 3 ships that'll kind of work together to build them, and it'll be put on the workshop as part of a mission. They'll be put on separately as well, so you can still play with the ships. But the main thing will be to put these on as part of a mission where you have to install 6 wind turbines. So yeah, that's the plan with these ships. This is just one of them, and then the other ones, some of the other ones I'm doing, and some of them other people are doing. So in a couple of months, hopefully not too long, these will be on the workshop, and you'll be able to go out and install your very own wind turbines. Because that's something all of us Stormwork players must absolutely, well, dream about. Unless that's just me. Anyone else have dreams about ships? No. So what way do we do this? Yeah, I've just realised this is going the wrong way, isn't it? I'm curving it down, but it should be coming out level about there, and then going up straight from there. That would be more like it. Did I cut an actor away there? No, I didn't. So, same shape as the front, but these props will be going different ways. Same design overall, really. Right. Lovely job. Right. Now we need to copy the pod from the front. We're going to copy it. Going to get another copy this time rather than using the other one. And that way we can just get the right shape for it. Down to that level, and some of these songs are really, like, strange. I know some people like this kind of songs, but not my usual kind of style. Wonder should we have these ones facing inwards so that they're pulling the ship rather than, oh no, these aren't actually set up to do that. They're too small. Right, okay, we'll just put them in as in a standard way then. Except they should now be spinning Is it showing the rotation? So positive is that way, so D will turn it to my right. Yes, that's good. That's what we want to see. Get them linked up there and there. And then just fill in this wee gap here. And we are done with the pods. Now, you may be wondering what's next. And that is a very good question, I don't know. I'd say what we'll do next is bridge, maybe? Or should we go on to the interwebs and have a look and see what way we should do the legs? Do we have a leg kind of here, or do we have them further back? One of the issues I had with the other ship was that I put one of the legs further back, or too far back, and basically the weight of the bridge and then the engines in the front, it just couldn't handle it and completely tipped over. So in the front there's going to be 2 engines, so that'll power the front pods, and there'll also be a 3rd engine that will power General Electrics on board. So obviously it's a ship, so there's people living on it, and they all need electric for heating, TVs, fridge, all that kind of stuff. Just general kind of like appliances. So it will be providing all the electric for that, and won't be as big as the other ones, but it's still an extra engine in the front then. So we need to make a design for that. A design that allows it to hold all that weight. All the fuel will be at the middle to the back, so it's not going to be as heavy as it could be. Just one positive to take away. Just get rid of all them, and welcome back, Agolus. Ship is, yeah, I'm gonna say it is looking good and pretty happy with it. Maybe I should do all my building on stream. So when I build on stream, I usually end up liking the ships more. And it means also then if I do something really stupid, I can say, oh, why didn't they tell me to change it? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, would like me to do more streaming of builds. Let me know. What's that? Doesn't look too weird. So, what we'll do the legs, because they are pretty much the most important part of this boat. Like, you can have a barge all you want, but you don't always have a jack-up barge. But just before we do that, we'll do a float test, just to see how big it is, and also to see roughly where things will be from like an actual perspective of us, rather than looking at it through the editor. Now I will need to move it further out to sea because it's too wide for the workbench area. She's going to be very, very buoyant, so she'll probably bounce up out of the water, unless there's a hole in it, which, oh, there isn't. Well done me. It's always a good thing when you spawn in your boat and it doesn't sink immediately. Always very reassuring. So, not as big as the last one, which is a definite plus, because the last one I think I did too big. Sitting nicely in the water. All the props are in the water apart from these ones, but that's because all the weight is at the front at the moment. So it should sit at about, let's see, I've got it marked here, at about there. So you'll not see as much of this as you are now. Or maybe you will. Maybe we'll have it so that it has like a kind of variable draft, so we're going to fill tanks to get it sitting lower, and we can empty them to get it sitting higher. So, I think a leg there. And then that kind of gets it just as the point of the bow comes in. And then another one just behind, or just forward of the stern kind of shape. Happy with the way the pod like kind of bits turned out. Don't know if there's an actual name for them. It's part of the hull. But yeah, I like them. So what else do we need to work out then? Is it all 2 meters is tall enough, isn't it? Yes, plenty of room. As long as you can jump inside, that's the main thing. And then we've got this big massive area in here, which will have an engine here, an engine there. It'll have the leg thing coming down through there, another leg coming through there, and then an engine there, an engine there, and an engine about here. And that'll be our auxiliary engine, so it'll act as a backup to the other ones, and then also power the hotel stuff, so all the appliances and all the lights and all the systems and everything that you can think of that isn't an electric motor. Speaking of electric motors, maybe we should do these facing out the way, because I don't know if he's still on, but Hunter makes a very, very nice dynamic positioning system that kind of requires that there's things out there, or bow thrusters. So if they were facing out to the side, they would act as bow thrusters, and then we could have them so that they turn in and then they act as propulsion. Echoless, yep, see you later. Have fun in school, I assume. Or do we just add another tunnel thruster? What do you think? Because we could theoretically have one in here. Because that's double thick and it doesn't need to be actually, so we'll get rid of that. Get rid of the water as well, because we don't want to be swimming. Or do we? I don't mind swimming. They can actually probably be left open, and there's like a bilge area, maybe. Let's see how silly this might look. So a tunnel thruster. No, this doesn't actually look as bad as I was expecting it to. So we could have this as kind of backup maybe? Because we don't really need all of the different pods. Because these ones are really only for a bit of extra speed and then extra maneuverability. But we could have it so that these are on, so that if you're running on only 2 engines as opposed to all 4, then you can do it this way and not use as much fuel then. Tough decision, but you know what, we'll keep them in for now anyway, because they'll help with dynamic positioning. Really all we need the dynamic positioning to do is keep the boat steady while the legs go down. So it'll be lined up beside where it's putting in the wind turbine, and then just drop down then. So let's see, what else? Oh, I've been kind of procrastinating, but yeah, we will. We'll move on to the legs then. We'll need, just realised we'll need to make sure that they can actually fit. Because they are, in case you hadn't noticed, remarkably tall. There's a certain limit of how far away blocks can go from the spawn block. So the spawn block is like the starter block. If you start a new build, which I'm going to have to do now because I don't know if this will work. If you start a new build, you've got this block here. And each direction from this block, you can go 60 meters or so. Possibly a bit longer, we'll see right now actually. Okay, that's 50 meters. But what we'll do is respawn our boat into there, and that way we know that there's not going to be a height limit on it. So we'll load content ship 3 and we'll lower it all the way down. Just as a precautionary measure, there might not have been a limit, but better to be safe than sorry. It's a weird feature, but you can kind of see why it's needed. Otherwise you get some insanely big buildings and ships. So, lag. So if that kind of wrecks the stream quality for a minute. Okay, jack up leg. Here we go. So yeah, see that red bit there? That I think is where it can't place any more blocks. Oh, she's very, very tall. Sort of regretting doing this kind of box around it. I did that as a kind of thing so it'd be easier to install, but I actually think it might be more difficult. So we'll get rid of that. And then we'll just kind of make it up as we go along then. So I'm going to delete the base of it. There we go. Actually just delete all of this really. Don't need it. We'll get rid of all these as well because we don't no longer need them. That was just for testing out the leg itself, just to see how tall it was really, because it would fall over otherwise because of the magnets on the bottom. So now it's just the leg with nothing else to it. Load content, jack up leg 2. There we go. And then we have the issue of lining everything up because it's also far away. We want this thing here at, do we want it at keel level or do we want it a bit higher? See, what we'll do is we'll work out how big the footprint of these is so that we know what kind of size the tunnel needs to be. It's sort of an elongated tunnel, so it's sort of longer on one side than it is on the other because we can't place where them things are. So we go back and work this out. So it needs to go that way as well. How do we actually work this out? I'm not sure. That song was on. That song was definitely on already. And we definitely haven't went through 100 songs. I haven't been on that long. We've only been on an hour and 12 minutes. Do we do a gap around the leg or do we have it kind of flush with the edge of the tunnel? That's it's not big enough to fall down, so I think we will do a gap. So we'll measure measure this. So we need 14 long, 13 wide. So we'll do it from the edge, and we'll do it from here. 13 wide. And then just replace that one there, and 14 long. Probably won't work out very evenly actually, this. Okay, change plan. Again. When is there not a change of plan? So the leg needs to be coming out flush with the side of the ship, I think. Does it? Maybe we shouldn't do one on the curve of the hull, actually. Yeah, we'll not do that. We'll do it just back from that. Okay. So, let's see, from here maybe? Across and 14 long. Perfect. And then we'll build up the wall around it. And then we can do a test fit. You know what? We're going to move that back even further. You can tell this isn't scripted, because if it was, I would have this all figured out and it would be all easy and lovely, and we'd be able to just do this in like half an hour. But no, that's not the case. So, 14 long. It's 20. 14. 14. And then 12 out to make it 13 wide. So, no, shoot. That's not right. Okay. That also isn't right, is it? Oh no, it is. So, what next? Sorry about the bang, that was the front door. 3. And all the way across, and all the way across, just to kind of give a bit of curve to the hull, so it's not just like a flat edge. Doesn't really make much difference, just makes it nicer looking. And then we'll do 3 up that way, and then we'll do that. For style purposes. No, that is that's very far back actually. What do you think? Too far back? Okay. Looked it up on Google and I've seen enough images of boats with the legs further back to make me think that we can do it this way. So there's going to be a lot of rang there, but it's going to be a-okay, hopefully. Although, it does leave us with quite a lot of room for superstructure, which I was kind of wanting to keep to a minimum. But we can work something out. Hopefully. Maybe work that into the design somehow. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Bring that across. Let's get the back one then done. So 14 this one, wasn't it? And then 13 across. Yep. Right, we get the wall built up, and that one, and that one, and then hopefully we've got our measurements right. 14 by 13, yep, perfect. So we now have 4 equally sized big rectangular holes around the ship, and that's where the legs are going to go. That is really far back actually. I feel like it should be there. I'm not sure. How could we make it into that area? Let's have a look on Google. Yeah, all of these ships that have it, they do have it right behind the superstructure. Let's see if we can get a side view of this one. No, it doesn't have the same kind of bow. This one here kind of gives me a bit of confidence in this design we're doing. So it has the leg all the way behind the bridge and all the way behind that there, and it's a fairly V-shaped bow to it, so it must have some stability. And also all the cranes and stuff are going to be at the back, so that should help us balance it all out in the overall, basically. Okay. Maybe we'll be able to do this then. That goes a lot further back than... Oh, it's a tough thing to work out this. Especially when we don't have the weight calculated yet. We don't know what weight the ship's going to be and where all the weight's going to be. But I really, really want it further forward, if possible. You know what? Let's just kind of temporarily remodel the front. Probably should have saved before doing this, but YOLO. What if we do like a flat edge, basically? Not completely flat, but sort of a wee bit flat. What are some of these songs? Right, what are we thinking? Do we like this idea, or do we keep it further back and just kind of hope that it doesn't tip over? If I could spawn in the other one, I would show you the sort of thing I think might happen. But it's just, I don't know, I have no idea what I did to it. I just broke it completely. This is the issue with some of the images you see of the jack-up ships. You don't see them in... There's very few images of them in like dry dock or getting built. Because the only time you ever see them out of the water is when they've lifted themselves out of the water. Which is good for designing their hulls, but not so good for designing this kind of part. Is that just too weird of a ship? Or shape? The only thing I can see that is not a bad thing about having to redo it like this is that because it's Stormworks, it doesn't calculate the physics properly to do with ship handling and that kind of stuff. Well, it calculates it well enough, but it's not going to be the same kind of effect that it would have in real life doing this. So it's not going to be massively bad on handling and that kind of thing. Let's just exit that quickly. You know, we're going to cut that and just get rid of it, and then we'll just load it in when we need it again. And we're going to get rid of the big version of that because we don't need it. So get this wall here. And we'll cut that and move it forward then. As far forward as we can. Is that too far? Nope, that's grand. Okay, we'll raise up that level there. It's not great, but I think that'll do. Nice enough. fill in all these weak gaps then that we've moved. No, I think I'd rather the ship look a bit weird at the front than tipped over, so yeah, it's not the end of the world. Right, then we'll just drill out this part here, and we've got our 4 holes again, so that looks much more stable. Not that you can really tell without the things in it, but oh well. Let's do another float test, see if that has had much, if any, effect on the... Oh dear. Forgot about that. Yeah, it's sort of in the dock, isn't it? There we go. That's... It's not good when you see the fish swimming through your boat. Come on, go down, 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 down. There we go. Let's go find the hole, I suppose. I imagine it's somewhere at this front bit here that we've kind of messed about with. That would be it. Right, now she should float nicely. Or at least just float, doesn't need to be nice. Lovely, right. No way we're gonna make that. Let's get up here and have a look around. So that works well enough. Yeah. Okay. I'm happy with that. So our superstructure then is gonna be like a kind of square here. It's very bright. Just gonna change so it's not such harsh light. So it's just gonna be a big square here, and then the bridge is kind of gonna overlap. That's the plan. So let's get the big leg things in. Ooh, they are so tall, which is good, but also slightly annoying. It makes them incredibly difficult to work with. Let's line them up within here. So there's a gap around them. I'm not even sure about this gap around them now. Maybe it's unnecessary. You know what? Before we put them in, we're gonna scrap the gap. Yeah, I don't like it. Thought it might be nice because it would kind of fill in a bit of space, but it's slightly too much of a gap. So this wall needs to be moved in like so. Which means I'm gonna have to change these ones at the back. That's gonna mess about with that if I do it that way. Right. All the walls moved in. And then, what way do we do that? Hmm. Okay, well, that wasn't too difficult. Now I just need to do it for all the other ones. Perfect. These ones should be a lot easier to do because they're at the back. Just realizing this didn't need to move. I could just take 2 off one end and then yeah, we'll do that. So we're taking 2 off each side. No, we're not actually. It's gonna be too small at the front. Forgot about that. Oh. Is it? Okay, we're gonna have to go and remeasure this now. Because I'm paranoid that I've got it all wrong. But I think I have good reason to be, because I think I do. Right, if we measure it from this, actually, if this is in the wall, it then needs how much to get to the back? From that wall it needs to be 12, right? Oh, so it is alright. Yeah, okay. Whew. So as long as these are 12 by 10, 12 by 9, 9, oh, that's 12. That's also 12. What? I think we need another level off here. Okay. So they need to be 9 wide and 12 long. Yeah, we had them way bigger than we needed them. Which then actually means that whatever way I worked out the first time was wrong as well then. Go ahead of that. So let's just check, that's now 12 long. Yep, that's good. And then we just fill this in like it was always here. No one will ever know. Okay, that's the 3rd time this song has been on. I don't like skipping songs, then it just kind of makes it sound weird, but 3rd time that song's been on, I think. Unless there's just a load of really similar songs. I hadn't actually thought about that, there probably is. Or well, it's over now. How many people have we got? We've got 4. A whole 4. It's actually pretty good. Any other games you could think of, anyone viewing, that I should stream? I have, well, everything on my channel, everything I've played on my channel, as well as I don't actually remember all the stuff I played on my channel, but stuff like this, or I've got like Farm Sim and Euro Truck Sim, Bus Sim, basically anything with a sim I usually have it. So yeah, if anyone would like to see that kind of stuff rather than building, well, as well as building, then let me know and I will try to stream it. I feel like it's not too long. It's too rectangular. Or am I just being stupid? What do you want to find out? Are these the same size actually? That's wider. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so when it's like that, it's 13. Is this a good way of measuring? No, I'll just do. $11 by 12. Why is that one 11? Should it be 11? That's 9 by 13. Oh, for God's sake. So this one's still too long. Okay, you know, we'll put the leg in first. Then we'll decide. This one is the perfect size. 5M. Okay. I can definitely do that. I've done a bit of that before. So yeah, we could definitely do some 5M. Some RP. Okay, that's actually working out pretty nicely going in there. Still got a... Is that a gap? Oh no, there isn't a gap. Right. Lovely. So the one at the back then is too small. We'll do the other side as well actually while we're here. See how well we can get it lined up. There we go. And then we'll link that in there so it won't fall through the boat, and also we can then float test it after. They're pretty hefty, these ones. They're twice as like thick, twice diameter. Maybe not actually, but they are a lot bigger than the last ones that I had. Just good because it means we've got more surface area on them, and then they also take up more space in the ship, so it's less space I need to fill with other details. There we go. Right, so yeah, we definitely need them to be wider. So that's currently 9. And we need it to be 11 instead. Length, I think, is alright. So we can leave that alone, not touch it. While we're on the topic of like streaming, what to stream, what about where to stream? Because I do stream on Twitch as well, but I'm sort of liking just being able to go on YouTube and set it up, because you can schedule them on YouTube and you can make thumbnails for them and all, so they look a lot nicer on YouTube. But then Twitch, there's sort of a more, maybe not more viewers, but there's more, it's easier for you to be discovered on Twitch. But yeah, I'd like your thoughts on that. Oh, shoot. These all need to be... Crap. There's a ladder on the inside of these, so that you can climb up if you fall down inside it. I don't know how you'd climb up, like it's a 60-ish meter drop. So I wanted the ladder on the outboard side of it, so we're going to need to swap the other ones on the other side so that they face the other way. And then it also means that when we're doing the logic, everything will be symmetrical. Press U and... oh. Is that right? Yes, it is. Also a step that I forgot about as well, so you can access these when they're completely deployed. You can access them so you can like climb inside them for maintenance or something. So if they're really badly damaged, or if they're just needing something fixed. Oh, that's... Oh, the ladder's not supposed to be there. Let's just get rid of that. So yeah, if you need to get inside them to fix them, there'll be a point at the bottom where you can do that, and then also a point, the one at the top. So there is a method in place for repairs, if and when you need them. I doubt many people will be just hopping into the pipes for fun. I keep calling them different things like pipes, tar, legs. I think legs is what they're called in real life, I think. Because a jack up ship, so it's a jack up leg. Because it holds the ship up like a leg. Oh, I just deleted the wrong thing by accident, did I? No? Maybe not. Okay. We'll get past that point and then we'll just redo this one then. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep calling them jack-up legs because I think that's their name. Anyone knows what their actual name is, like if they have a different name, please let me know and I will call them that. Anything that anyone notices that I'm saying wrong, if you know what it is or what it's supposed to be, let me know. Because I don't want to be looking like a complete idiot. Just a minor one will do. So we'll merge these all in. So I think they're all in place. We'll save. I was going to spawn it in, but we'll save first, just in case it crashes. 282,000. Pretty steep already. Ooh, this is nice. That's nice. Happy with that. And they're just kind of falling down because we don't have infinite electric on. So, oh, we do. Why's that happening then? That's odd. Okay, we'll just assume that's all right. Even touching the seabed here, they're pretty tall, and they're all independent as well. So they're not going to be controlled all together. There'll be a button that will lower them all down, and a button that will bring them all up. But they'll also have independent controls, so that if you're on uneven edges, so say you're out here, and you're parking the ship like lengthwise, and here is longer than, or here is deeper than, or here's deeper than there. You don't need to drop the legs down as far, and it basically means you've got a nice level platform to work off then. Drive bars, hello, I'm very good, yep. How are you? Right, let's start the superstructure, I think. Or should we do a test of the legs themselves actually? Just check these are all on the right. Oh, they're not. That's a shame. Okay, so they're going to be on 1 to 32. 1 to 32 basically means that for every, I don't actually know what it means in terms of these. With gears, it means with every one turn of one gear, it's 32 turns of the other gear. So it can either work for torque or for higher speed. In this case, they're set up for torque, so the higher the ratio, the more weight they can hold. It'll be slower, but it'll be much more like powerful in terms of what it can lift, which is what we need because this ship is probably going to be very heavy. So I have a wee controller that I made earlier. This is not a quick ratio. So jack up control. That spawn there, and we'll set this on the bow for now, just out of the way, and then we can come back and clip it when we need to put it into the bridge. would we have this in the bridge, or would we have this in like the kind of control room? Because there's going to be the main bridge for navigation, that kind of stuff, and then there's also going to be a deck bridge, which isn't actually going to be a bridge if you think about it, but it's going to be like a kind of, if you've ever seen on aircraft carriers where they have like an ATC room with big massive windows and that kind of thing, so that they can see everything that's going on deck, it's going to be like that. And it'll basically just be managing everything that's going on deck and just monitoring everything going on. Okay, port by port. Yes, this game is mad, but in like the best way possible. Port quarter, starboard quarter. I haven't labelled them ones actually, but I know which way they all go around, so that's good. Yeah, this game is a bit crazy. What we're building at the moment is a jack-up ship, so basically a ship on like legs. So not all games you can do that in. Starboard quarter. Wait, was that the starboard quarter? Oh yeah, starboard quarter down. So yeah, we're gonna have a secondary kind of control room that'll look over the deck and then be able to sort of control everything remotely from there as well. So I'm thinking the cranes are gonna have a cab of their own, but they'll also have then a secondary secondary kind of control desk area where they can be controlled from the bridge, and then that way you can control multiple things at once without having to kind of worry about running all the way from the back of the boat to the front and that kind of stuff. So mainly just to save time. Oh, missed. It's one thing about big ships that's annoying, is that it takes ages to do the logic, because you're constantly going all the way to the back and all the way to the front. This is where the composite is good, because it kind of allows you, like I could have this panel centered and then have the composite just going to the bridge. So this panel could be in the middle of the boat, and then the composite, all I need is these 5 composites going up to the bridge, and then I can control everything from there. So all of these are all okay. We'll connect them all power wise. Maybe it's because they're not connected to a battery. They shouldn't need to be, but at the same time maybe they should be. Oh, you know what else we need? We need locks. I completely forgot about that. How are we going to do that? Yes, that's right, you do need a fairly beefy computer, especially for some of the bigger stuff, which hopefully this will be one of, if I can get it that far. Yeah, how are we going to do the lock? Because there's going to be a brake on them, so that theoretically when they're not in use and the boat's underway, then you can kind of, you know that even if you lose electric, they're not going to just fall out of the boat, and they're just going to sit there, mind their business, and yeah, you're basically safe. It's a great game, just needs a somewhat good computer. Yeah. Game gets less than 12 FPS. Yeah, it looks so compact. I think you mean this panel, yeah. This panel is basically hiding all of this. It's not much by any means. Some of my panels are huge, and I dread to think of the size of some of the other panels that some people make for stuff. But yeah, it just keeps everything nice and clean looking. So we will... That's the same song. Was that song? That song was definitely on. Ah, it's 2 different versions. Maybe that's why we get loads of the same song. Ah. Yes, it can get very, very slow. especially for some of the stuff I tend to build. Although that's mainly because I do go a bit over the top with them. Okay, they're not falling down, which is pretty good. Yeah, they're moving. They're moving incredibly slowly, but they're moving. I should actually make this a toggle. Oh, I did make it a toggle. Pass, Jack. Well done. You've done yourself proud. So glad I made that a toggle, otherwise I would have had to stand there and just wait. So, it's a slow process, but you know what? I'm not going to complain, because if we can lift the boat and it's doing it slowly, it's better than not being able to lift the boat. So these here should be telling us then where these are. So I assume it's in meters. Is it? Let's have a look underneath the ship, see how much is actually out. Yeah, I think that is meters. So that's how far under the boat basically they are. And I was going to do it so that there's a depth sensor. Maybe I should do it that way instead, so that there's a depth sensor on each of them. I sort of feel like I need another panel for each of them as well, actually. Because all this stuff here is good enough, but it's not really enough, is it? Because we need a button to control the lock, or the brake. And then we also need a readout for the depth at that area, and then the depth that they are at. So how far they have to go before they hit the bottom, to help us kind of balance them. Oh, I don't know. I could also make a system where this only works to a certain point before they all reach the bottom. So that way they'll just sit above the bottom exactly, and then you can line them up. Although actually no, what would be the point in that? What about a system where all four of them need to be... Oh, we've got one lifting us off. Two lifting us off. These two mustn't be at the bottom yet. Yeah, that could be a good system if I could figure it out. Or actually if one of the other guys in the group could figure out, that would be... give them something to do. We are listing forward, like, severely. 1540... Okay, we're just going to stop that there. Why is that bringing them down? Oh, I was bringing them up by accident. So, this is nice, because now we can level it out. We should get an artificial horizon, so that we can actually see how well we've done with the leveling. You know, that's actually not bad, considering it was by eye. Let's just tab not through the map, but to here, and then we can kind of watch it without us going up with it. It's actually not that slow. I was worried it'd be a bit too slow, but it's completely fine. Like, you would be happy enough waiting for that, because it's realistic, isn't it? That side's lifting up faster. I also think there's a few in Discord to play with this. Yeah, it's a popular enough game now. It started off fairly small for quite a while, but since it's got a bit more sort of recognition, it's got fairly popular. Right, what I'm wanting to do, it's going to take a while, but I want to get it all the way to the top so we can see how far above deck we can bring the sort of, what would we call it, like a machine room kind of thing. So we're going to do like a model. It's not going to be functional, but it's a model of like a machine room that would lift this, and it'll probably come up about a deck higher than this deck. I It's like just a kind of machine room, like yeah, machine room basically. Can't really think of any other word to describe it.